Today we're going to be talking about working with stakeholders and the value of working with stakeholders. We're going to be talking about what it means to co-create knowledge and to learn together in wide groups of people who have different ways of knowing. We're going to be talking about the Crocodile River in South Africa, which, like many rivers in South Africa, arise in highly industrialized areas with many urban areas and agriculture around them, but also people discharging sewage. And there are two main water quality impacts in this kind of a catchment. The water quality impacts come from salts, which come mainly from the industries and also from irrigated agriculture, and also increased nutrients coming from fertilized agricultural fields and from wastewater treatment works that maybe aren't working as well as they should, bringing sewage enrichment into the system. So let's look at how this might work. Here are two catchments, subcatchments, one upstream and one downstream, which is the way rivers work, and you have rainfall. Rainfall falling on agricultural fields that have abstracted water in order to irrigate, and there are return flows with salts and fertilizers. You also have industries abstracting water for their processes and releasing wastewater. In the same kind of a place, you have urban living areas taking water from water treatment works, WTW, but also discharging sewage into wastewater treatment works, WTWW, which then release their outfall into the river. And it all flows downstream into the next subcatchment, which then needs to take account of the upstream impacts. Here we have the Crocodile River, and in some places so beautiful and in some places quite polluted. And it's flowing, as you see, downstream into the Kruger National Park, which is our most prestigious national park and a protected area. So obviously we are wanting to improve water quality to maintain the kinds of things you want to happen in a national park. So we came in as a transdisciplinary team. I was the team leader. I got trained as an ecologist. I then became interested in water quality and then had the opportunity in South Africa to work on an emerging water law and policy. And out of that varied experience, I've become a transdisciplinarian. And in this case, I worked with two bright, energetic students, one of whom worked in modeling, putting the flow and the water quality together, and the other of whom was working in learning and co-learning, particularly with the sugar industry. And I was supported by two social scientists, one a political ecologist who was interested in the kinds of conflicts that arise when people are grappling with pollution, and the other of whom was interested in collective action. And together we embarked on this engagement with stakeholders. The first intervention was led by the political ecologist, and he was working with those people who were managing wastewater treatment works in a government program called the Green Drop program, which incentivized better performance out of water treatment works. And he was able to listen to the very many challenges that are faced by people trying to manage wastewater treatment works in a developing country. And then we worked with the big boys, the people in industry, the sugar farmers, the people who ran pulp and paper industries. And we gathered them together quarterly to listen to the science, to listen to this energetic student talking about the integration of flow and water quality and how these worked together and how you can't improve water quality if you also abstract all the water out of the river. The Kruger Park, this completely astonishing wilderness with all its wonderful animals. After 3 years, the Kruger Park showed an improvement in many of the indicators that we were worried about. The chemistry of the water, the kinds of monitoring that you do for flow and for the water quality indicators, also for biotic indicators. Now, we can't claim that we were the influence that changed that scenario, not that solved the problem of water quality, but that showed the trajectory towards the possibility of improvement. What we can do And what we are doing to encourage you is to say that this transdisciplinary work created a space, created the possibility of improving water quality.